Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Success Lab podcast with Tim and Chris. Hi, Tim.
Hello, Christoph.
A very warm welcome, especially today because we are in a brand new setup. We have 3 cameras, new background, new studio, new equipment, new glasses of water.
The glasses.
How do you feel in this particular setting?
I think it's great. So we haven't filmed here yet, but I really love the books. Obviously, not only the atmosphere and also the look of it, but also just the knowledge.
Yes,
we have
yes.
all the knowledge here we need.
We are surrounded by knowledge, and if we don't know what we're talking about, we can just look behind us and pick up some ideas, because there are many very inspirational people, like, let's say, Dale Carnegie, Phil Knight. I really like Jackie Chan, Bruce
Barack
Lee,
Obama.
Obama here. We have sports cars, because we both like cars. That's also a good topic. But this is not why we are here, and this is not why you clicked on this podcast, but because you want to learn something. And today's topic, I think, is gonna be very interesting for a lot of you guys. We have, I don't know, do you think we have a similar perspective to this, or maybe some different opinions?
I think a little bit different. I think there are things we have different perspective or disagree a little bit, but generally speaking, yes, similar.
Because today's topic is confidence. We are at so many startup conferences, speakers conferences, and we have big goals, right? Speaking on startup events, TEDx, being on a TEDx stage, like you have already been, is a big dream of ours. And I think confidence is a crucial thing to have, but it's very important also to define confidence, I think, in a very specific way. How would you define confidence in a healthy way? Because I think you can quickly go into this toxic masculinity curve, where you're dominant and pushing away other people, but I think that's not confidence. What is confidence for you?
So first of all, I really want to say I'm super excited for this topic because I mentioned something like this, the confidence and the being too confident, kind of, the toxic confidence, maybe. We can talk about this already like weeks ago. And now the other day when you proposed this this topic today, I really liked it because we just went to an event together, and I think you had a little bit different perspective on the happenings of the event, or your perspective. So I'm really also eager to talk about this. So I purposely didn't say too much before. So let's talk about this. And now to your question about defining confidence. So I think confidence is how much it's a combination of a lot of things, I think. So first of all, how much you value yourself. So I think if you don't value yourself, you cannot be very confident, or not really authentically confident. So you can maybe seem confident on first sight, but you're not really confident. So you need to value yourself, you need to have goals, you need to have belief in yourself, and that's also something that comes along with the topic of motivation. I'll just bring this in here, is if you define goals or tasks and you will do them, this will do something with you. This will not only make you motivated, it will release dopamine. And now to today's topic, it will boost your confidence a lot. Not only for the day, but in general. If you are true to your words, you will be confident.
That's so nice to hear from you. We didn't do a lot of preparation of this topic because we want to have this conversation as engaging and as authentic as possible. But just when you started to talk about your definition of confidence, a quote of Joe Rogan popped into my head, which just said exactly the same thing what you have said. Self-confidence is keeping promises to yourself. Perfect. And that's completely the exact same thing as you have said. So if you say you are going to the gym and you go to the gym, that's another boost of self-confidence. Or, I mean, you can also make it step by step. I think there's this ex-Marine who has done a speech to a university where he says, first lesson, make your bed every morning. because it also is a thing that you told yourself, promised yourself you're going to do. It's such a small thing, but the upside, the positive perspective is that you have kept another promise
To yourself.
to yourself.
And so this is, it really connects the things of motivation and confidence. I think here in this sense, they're very much wired to each other. And like you said, this I think general, I have heard this speech is great. It's really good. So it is really a thing. You will gain confidence.
Yes.
So if you do those things, confidence will come. What else is confidence? Because this is only like maybe one side of confidence.
What else is confidence? I think being true to yourself in every situation is quite interesting. That I mean, you already have mentioned it, but really going into every situation with being aware of your competences. So you exactly know where your maybe. I'd love to hear your opinion to this. It is very clear where your confidence stops and where your confidence starts. So if you are very confident in riding is it a one-cycle, a bicycle with just one wheel?
Let's say once.
Is it a one-cycle? We didn't.
Motorcycle.
Motorcycle.
Maybe.
Yeah, motorcycle. Yeah. So if you are very confident in riding a motorcycle, but you have never done it, then I think that's not the right way of confidence. But if you already teach public speaking and talking in public, and you already know this person, and you're too shy for this, then you don't exactly know where confidence starts. So having these borders of where competences, that's why I said competence equals confidence, that if you exactly know where your competences start and your competences finish, where there are things that you actually don't know how to do, then it is very easy to fill this room of competences with full confidence.
I like this. So basically, it's, let's say, competence-based confidence. And I think that's a really big point. I think if you are competent in something, if you have expertise, and you know that,
Yes.
then you feel more confident, obviously. But also to touch on this a little bit is sometimes even if you are confident, if you are competent in you have a lot of skill set. Okay, you have a big skill set in this field. There's always someone better, right? Like there's always someone better in this, whatever.
Yeah.
So sometimes it still feels a little bit overwhelming. So maybe a question to you from my side is, you still have to maybe make a switch or do something to get this confidence from the skill set. What do you think about that?
I want to throw in a technical term named contextual confidence. So there are, no doubt about it, every person who is listening to this podcast has a specific context in which this person is confident. For me, it was clearly martial arts. So if I throw on my martial arts suit, my taekwondo clothing, then I am a different person. A lot of people and a lot of friends and surroundings have told me that I'm a completely different person. So before that, especially in my younger age, I was very introverted and very shy, talking to the most random people. But if I had this taekwondo suit on, I was a different person. I cared, of course, but I didn't care how big this person, this politician is. I walked up to them and I made a lot of good deals with Taekwondo because I had this confidence suit on. And now the challenge is to convey this contextual confidence to another context.
Yeah.
To broaden your confidence. And my mentor, Vin Jiang, who is a very big public speaker, he has made speaking contextual confidence. And he's always speaking. That means he's always confident.
Oh, okay, I see.
So choosing the right context, which is maybe always the case. Like breathing is your contextual confidence. If you breathe, you're confident. Something like this.
Or being in the present or whatever. Yeah.
Being present, maybe. So if there is a situation where you have to be confident and you do a little bit of meditation before, and you can convey this confidence into, this could be also good.
I
So
like
being
this.
present.
Yeah. But I really like this thought. I mean,
Yes.
that's two different things, I think. So first of all, I really like the thought of this contextual based confidence, that you can kind of decide when you're confident in the terms, because
You can shift the focus.
you can shift the focus.
Yeah.
In that sense, you can decide, right? If you shift the focus to the right thing, you will be confident. So that's a big tool actually in the asset. And the second thing is, what is being present and grounded have to do with being confident.
I love it. I think when you are not confident, you are maybe overthinking.
Yeah, could be, yeah.
You could be not confident in speaking on stage because you had an embarrassing situation before.
And then you're thinking about the past instead of being in the present.
Or you have some situation, I love where this is going. Or I have so many simulations of situations that could
like this
happen in the future, which is not in the present. And if you have this tool, this ability to be present, this is a lot of meditation stuff, we know, but it's working. So if you are present in the moment and therefore are not thinking too much about the past and too much about the future, this is some kind of state of mind. I think we have already talked about this presence state of mind. And if you are in the present moment, you are not able to be unconfident.
Right.
Therefore, have to be confident.
And also what is being unconfident, so to say? What is it? So I'm thinking of being at an event or something, and not having the guts to walk up, and we can talk about this, not having the guts to walk up to someone famous or semi-famous and talk to him or her. So let's say this is not being confident. And what happens in this second, basically? I think, and you can correct me, but I think the main reasons are you're fearing something, you're fearing rejection, you're fearing embarrassment, you're fearing something in the future, or maybe you are fearing that you don't have anything to show in the past. So in the end, it's again past and future thinking, because if you're really present, can you be unconfident? It's a little bit, yeah.
We should think about this. Is there, so all of the very present people, are they not confident? No.
I think honestly there is, see, that's the thing. There is no confidence or not, there is no not confidence. This is a little bit spiritual, and we can like, this is a little bit a side part, but I think if you are really in the moment, let's pull again like spiritual teachers, there is not even a distinguishing thing between them not being confident or confident. From the outside, they look confident, but that's just their being. I think that's normal, because they don't worry about what other people say. They just say that thing and their knowledge. And what do you think?
They're not thinking. Yeah. I think this is this whole time spectrum of, if you're thinking about past or the future, then your mind is distracted and you cannot focus your energy onto being confident or into the situation.
Right. Yeah.
And I think it's way less effective.
Yeah.
But I'm the least person to say, because I came up with this topic because I really had the exact same situation at the Austrian Startup Summit.
Okay, yeah.
So we have been at the Startup Summit in Austria of Austrian startups, which is the biggest startup community in Austria, right?
Yes.
And we had one of the main speakers there, who is Ali Maloji. Tim didn't know him before. But I'm a very big fan of his, and I had the honor of being in a speakers lounge. I was responsible for that they all have their water and coffee and stuff like this. So I was volunteering in this event, and I always wanted to talk to Ali Maloji because he is really great personality. He's a very good public speaker, and he has very good cause. And a very cool company where I would love to participate in it in any way, shape, or form. But
you didn't talk to him.
And I didn't talk to him. it was like he was standing next to me. He was, of course, always surrounded by people, also other very important people like university professors and VC partners and stuff like this. So there were already many high value people around him. And I think I didn't see my worth as much and as high, necessarily high, to be allowed to talk in this group.
Yeah.
Or to talk to him, because he's a very humble and grounded person. So just coming up to him and to talk to him, I think is not that big of a problem. But because there are so many other people around him, what gives me the permission to talk to him and take up speaking time from another person who is maybe more valuable than I am.
But that's the thing, like maybe more valuable, and you don't have the prior skill set or repetition or whatever. This is like, again, like past thinking a little bit. And also I think it's a story you're telling yourself, and in the end it is maybe the negative story, not negative voice in your head or whatever. I mean, there's many names for it, but
monkey mind.
Let's say monkey mind. It's a well-known thing. So this monkey mind tells you, oh, you're not good enough or whatever. But what if you stand in beside, like not in front of him, but on the side, and you think to yourself, you just visualize yourself, okay, I'm good enough. I have this and this and this to show, because you have those things.
Yes,
definitely.
And I'm aware of it.
You're aware, but you're not, maybe not aware in a moment, or maybe didn't bring it up. Let's just assume. So you bring those things up in the head, and you think to yourself, okay, I have this and this and that, and I am good enough to talk to him for like a few minutes. That's definitely true. I think that's 100% true. And so just think to yourself and boost yourself, and then go up. And I think then something will come up automatically anyway. What do you think?
I mean, I love to overanalyze stuff, and I can come back to the topic of overanalyzing stuff. But I was there like 3 or 4 meters away from the conversation of Ali, and I had the exact same thoughts that you have talked about.
Okay.
So I'm really good enough. I can bring stuff to the table. We would have a blast. I know how to make a good conversation with the person and to make people laugh and to make people feel comfortable. That's all good. And I would also have he would also have a benefit from it. So just pros. And I said, yeah, so there should nothing be in front of me to walk up to him and to engage in a conversation. And there's still some block that prevents me from making a step towards this person. What else could it be?
So if I think about this event, there was also someone I wanted to talk to. But it was Daniel Thorin.
Oh, wow. Cool person.
Cool person, very good speaker. Very good speaker.
We will tag him in this conversation, just in snippets.
They also have a podcast, the weekly
Future Weekly.
Future Weekly podcast. We can also link it.
Also startups, yes.
Maybe there's gonna be a
collaboration.
Crossover. Yes.
Would be awesome.
So they just had the podcast, the last episode at the event on the stage
with the founder of Hockeyfy.
Yeah, exactly. So so I wanted to talk to Daniel, but my mindset was different. I think I actually I didn't care too much.
Don't spare any detail. I would love to hear your exact maybe thoughts and maybe movement pattern.
So I was sitting there, and he was walking from off stage, and I'm like, okay, I think it would be cool to talk to him, and let's just have a conversation. And I literally, and I think that's the point I want to make here, is I did not think too much, and then I literally said, okay, honestly, what can go wrong? I don't know. I have to think about much, and I didn't put too much pressure or anything. I'm like, okay, let's just talk to him. I forgot his first name, so I said, Thorin. Hey, Thorin. Because I knew him before. He was a lecturer at my university. So I said, oh, we know each other from the university, blah, blah. And then I started the conversation, and we just talked. So I think my point is, I didn't make a big deal out of it. And I really thought like, okay, if not, whatever, like, it's not at the end of the world, like whatever.
Yeah. And I think you didn't have any option of thinking too much, because the situation was would have been gone so fast.
Right. So that's also another thing I wanted to mention. Mel Robbins, 3, 2, 1. You could
Mind
probably,
connection
yes,
right now because
right.
it popped into my head.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
I didn't purposely did it here, but it was kind of implied by the situation, like you just mentioned.
Mhm.
So it was like, if I don't stand up now, he's gone, right?
Yeah.
And I already stood up and said, like, kind of like, hey, Soren. So I had to stand up right now. So you just have to do it. Don't think about it. And that's also one of the many advices I think we can here underline on this podcast today is, if you really want to do something and you want to be confident, you kind of have to force it.
Mhm.
Confidence will not come. Confidence is, in my opinion, also to some degree, it's a decision. So you have to force it with for example, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah.
You have to have the skill set. You have to be in the moment. And what else did we say at the beginning? You wanna have promise to yourself and also complete the promise.
Yes.
Maybe
yes.
just a short mid podcast summary of the things we have mentioned.
Yeah, keeping your promises to us. And I would also emphasize and maybe describe and explain the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method of Mel
Please.
Robbins. So she had a bit of a depression wheel as a mother and a full-time worker, and it didn't work very well. So she had the addiction of staying in bed and watching TV every day for like a bunch of hours. And this made a wheel of bad decisions with
Negative
smoking,
spiraling and stuff.
negative
Yes.
spiraling, right? Yeah, and just one day, because she has seen a documentary of NASA or something, and they had the countdown of the rocket going up.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Oh yeah. That's why it's because of NASA, and she has said, what would be, I don't know how this quite genius but also simple thought could occur in a mind so spontaneously just because a NASA documentary is running on the TV. So she was thinking to her, how about I make the decision, after I count to 1, I go out of bed. That's all she said to herself.
Okay. Yeah.
And then she counted down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And before she realizes it, she was standing next to the bed, being fully present,
Yeah.
and she never got back to the addiction of watching TV for hours before getting up of bed.
Yeah.
Because
She always did that, right? Did you then always do the
yes,
counting thing?
she's still doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Huh.
because the subconscious mind or the overthinking crazy monkey mind
Yeah.
is muted while she was counting.
Uh-huh.
So this has to be very, very fast, this process. Decision,
Yes, it has to be fast.
some action so that the monkey mind cannot interfere.
Mm-hmm.
Decision, I get up, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, up, and then I'm up.
And also between decision and 5, there cannot be a long or even any break.
Yeah.
So you basically not even any break. So you have to have the decision, and if you wait longer than I think 1 second or something,
yes,
the monkey mind will challenge the decision.
Oh, that monkey mind is
so
fast.
If you really decide, 5 comes right then, and then it's a thing, because I always say, like, this is so powerful because, and I think there's a neurobiology thing behind it, right? Because you want to continue things. We as humans, we are wired to fulfill patterns. And the pattern is, if you count upwards, there's no end, right? You can count to 100, 1000. But if you count downwards, your brain wants to continue the pattern.
That's the thing.
That's the science behind it.
Yeah.
So I've heard other people talking about it. I mean, Mel Robbins brought it big and made it, but there's science behind it. And if you count down 5, 4, 3, and 2, okay, after 2 comes 1. That's obvious. After 1, I think that's different for some people. For me, it would be 0, but for other people, it would already
engineers
wouldn't. Yes, exactly. But no one would count to -1.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't matter, but some people 1 and then you have to do something, or some people 0 and then okay, do something. So there is this impulse. And with this impulse, you have so much energy, and you can do those things: the decision, then the system, the pattern, and then you do the system, the decision.
That's a really big learning for me. I didn't know about, and it makes completely sense, right? That counting downwards as an end, and counting
Upwards,
backwards, and forward.
Yeah.
I think then there is no end. And it makes total sense.
Yeah, I didn't know about the NASA thing, so that's also interesting. But
Perfect.
that's very cool. So yeah,
nice. And I also had a conversation with Daniel Torin afterwards, because you said, he's a really cool guy. You should talk to him. And it's a very funny situation, and it's quite embarrassing. And if we link those people here, and
we will link them. No,
but it was so funny because he put on his jacket and wanted to go because he was feeling a bit sick, right? And what I did was thanking him for his talk. I'm sorry to bother you. I don't want to acquire your time more. Thank you for this conversation. I'm so sorry to bother you. And then I went away. And because he was such a nice person, he said, no, it's all right. Do you have a question or something like this? So it was him being proactive and giving me the allowance to talk about the things why I wanted to come up to him.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have had the guts to do it myself. How crazy is that?
That's crazy. And it speaks to the thing of, okay, so you gave him room, you gave him priority, you gave him respect. So with this respect,
I gave him too much.
You gave him too much.
I pushed. So there are people who are bringing themselves over another person.
Yeah.
And I think there's a little bit of an Asian style to put yourself below another person to show this person respect.
Yeah.
I dug a hole under this person.
Interesting.
Completely unnecessary. So I think it's a
definitely. Yeah.
It's a tumor of a healthy way of Asian culture of mine, which is right now a big learning of mine, that maybe the culture is the spring of this behavior pattern.
Yeah.
But the extreme is all my making.
I think.
So I can also make it go away, not the culture.
Yes, you can definitely make it go away. So first of all, I think everyone has it to a certain degree, right? That's just except psychopaths and not narcissists. But let's say rational,
psychologically healthy people.
They all have that to a certain degree. Maybe in the Asian culture it's a little bit bigger and a little more.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone has it. And now the question is, I'm thinking is, so when you did that with Daniel at the event, maybe it was kind of too much for him to make it bare and to let it stand. So I'm just thinking here out loud. So maybe it was kind of like a psychologically, not a trick, but like it triggered something at him. So like, this is like too much. Like this is, you know what I mean?
Maybe my subconscious wanted to backhandedly trick him in engaging conversation with me. So that I don't have to engage a conversation with him.
Right? So I mean,
I'm sorry, maybe. Daniel.
Yeah, but it worked, and it was a good conversation, I think, for both of them. Yes. So that's good. Yeah. In the end, I think the bottom line here is you shouldn't undersell yourself. But it can be good maybe to have respect for the other person to a certain degree, because it again shows the other person, okay, he's not here to only want a job or wants like one advice or I don't know, like a picture or whatever. But okay, he or she is actually genuinely respecting myself.
Yes.
So why not talk to him? Why not give him a few minutes? I have the time, so let's do that. And I also do that with other people on LinkedIn sometimes. I don't text them, oh, you want to meet up or do you want to have an interview with me? But I just think, just tell them how cool their talk was, how cool that thing was, and just say, congratulations to your new startup. Yes. And then I get good replies, and it's just already a connection there, you know?
Especially in this networking realm of saying startups, I think we have already talked about the topic of having a mentor or getting a mentor.
Yeah.
That it is a very bad decision of maybe coming up to a big personality and say, do you want to be my mentor? This is not a defined spectrum of energy that has to be put on the table from the perspective of the important person. But if you just ask this person for one little thing, they can calculate it. So that's one thing. But the other thing, especially in a networking thing, that you give energy, you give advice, you give positive energy, happiness, something like this, then of course another person is happy to engage in this conversation. But if you just want to pull something, you want a stupid selfie with a person, TV star, something like this. This is not very cool. Or it just want a job from this person, just want money from this person. This is quite negative.
Yeah.
Right.
And it doesn't feel so authentic. It doesn't feel authentic at all because they just want something from me. I mean, you get that. So if you know, okay, they are genuinely interested in you, that's a different ballgame, and that makes a huge difference. So I think we should show them that, give them respect, but also show them that, and then that also makes it more easy to come into a conversation. Yeah. Okay, so maybe circle back to the main topic of confidence.
Let's try to summarize all the same idea, tips. Okay. Great minds think alike.
You know, we should write a book, but we will at some point.
It's a long-term project.
I actually have another one we haven't mentioned, but let's summarize and then add the last one. Okay,
Ooh,
and maybe you have another one.
It's an extra point.
It's just maybe it's an extra. Okay. So number one was you have to be true to yourself.
Yes, keeping promises to yourself.
Keeping promises. You define something. You set task, goal, whatever, and then you do it. This makes so much of confidence.
Automatically boosts up and grows your confidence.
It's crazy. It's actually crazy.
Being confident of yourself, not particular skills, but being confident and aware of yourself.
Self-confidence, let's say. Yeah. Okay. And then the second thing is, you just mentioned it, the skills. So first of all, you want to acquire skills, but everyone has skills. So don't forget that everyone has skills. So we want to acquire the skills and then look at the skills and then tell yourself every day, not only before the event, but every day how good you are at something and make it visualize yourself. So you will feel the confidence that comes from there.
This is the thing we have called contextual confidence. Is that right?
Yes.
So that you already have some context in which you are automatically confident, and conveying this source of confidence and putting it into different situations is growing also your confidence, right?
And putting it into action in the end.
Yes.
And that's also number three. Number three is the awareness, being present, right? We want to be present. We don't want to have all the negative monkey mind thoughts from the past or the future.
Yeah.
We want to be present and don't think too much, I would say.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yes. Trying to put away the thoughts of the past, the situations of the past, which could maybe reasonably make me think about the horror scenarios which could have happened.
Yeah.
And also on the other side, the future. So situations which are not even possible, maybe.
Right.
Yeah. That a lion is jumping on the stage and is eating me alive. This is not going to happen.
Yeah.
So thinking about the future is also not an option. Being present in the moment, for example, through meditation, is also a thing of
visualization.
Confidence. Visualization, yes.
I think visualization is kind of a tool for multiple of those things, for the awareness, being present, but also for I have the skill set, right?
Yes.
Like I visualize, hey, I have this and that visualization.
Okay, and for that, we have the tool of Mel Robbins, which is the 5-4-3-2-1, which brings us into the present moment and does not let the monkey mind speak.
Right. So I would say number 4, if it's now a learning or whatever, but it's 1 point. So it is, let's say this is number 4, the Mel Robbins technique. What, broadly speaking, the just do it thing, right? How you do it, that's techniques. Right, the Nike thing. I mean, that's a huge thing. Just do it, and it works. Like, just do it is a good task management advice. Actually, it's actually you could go that far. You could go that far to say that's the only one you actually ever need. Task management advice.
Yes, but it's for all the public speakers out there. It's not an advice to say to young, ambitious people because they've heard it 50,000 times. But I love the way you have said it. That it is a task management advice, and especially the only one you need.
You basically, and it's more like a mindset, right? Like the advice itself is like,
I heard it. Yeah.
But if you have it in your as a mindset, it works. And you have, again, it's the first point, keeping promises to yourself, and then it kind of like a compounding effect, even though
putting all those things together, your confidence is shooting up. in a good way.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So those are 4.
Mhm.
Did I miss one?
No, it was 4. Yeah.
Okay. And now my 5th one
Mhm.
is, and we mentioned it a little bit. Yeah, the thing is, I say it first in German, Kleider machen Leute. Clothes kind of, the environment gives you confidence, is my point here. Because the thing is, what I feel is, if I feel good in the environment, not only my clothes, but clothes, how I feel, also my knowledge, but also the environment, then I'm just more confident, period. So this is big point, I think, also on events. So one time I was dressed not so cool. I think I was overdressed and I wasn't confident, actually. I was super unconfident. I didn't feel well in that
Founder
sense.
Summit?
The first day, yes. The first day I was overdressed and I felt weird, not authentic. So you want to be authentic. You want to be well dressed for yourself. You want to feel well in the environment. You just want to have all environment aspects as good as possible.
Yeah.
And yeah, the bottom line is, again, you will feel the confidence. Just it's there.
That's an awesome advice. Yes. Also, thinking about what you're going to wear at those very big situations you're going to have in your career and your personal life.
Yeah,
Being in
everywhere.
a personal, romantic life, you should also be confident. And if you put yourself into a suit and tie, and you're not comfortable in a suit and tie, then you should not wear a suit on your first date. It's not working like that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Do you have anything to mention?
No, I'm really happy about this episode, and I took a lot of learnings from this. I have to say, I took a lot of things that I'm going to meditate and think about over the next days. We have mentioned a lot of people. Maybe there is going to be a collaboration with someone.
Yes,
Let's just put it into the universe and let's see what happens.
Yeah.
That's everything that
it will
matters.
come back. It will come back. What we bring out, it will come back.
Goodness, we are putting a lot of monk and meditation stuff and esoteric stuff, but we are very rational people, of course. Therefore, we would wrap this up.
Yes.
This episode of the Success Lab podcast. We are very happy to announce that we are already on YouTube and on Spotify and putting out a lot of short form content also to bring you guys onto those big sessions and to provide you with knowledge and situations which are practical and can be implemented into your life right away while being in the gym, while going for a run.
Exactly, yeah.
You've been on a run today already.
I did. And I actually listened to a podcast.
Yeah, let's make a little bit of advertisement here.
Dr. Andrew Huberman.
Huberman Lab is so awesome.
Yeah, it's great. And like Christoph says, I think it's podcasts are so good for like those kind of things. Like if you're running or at a workout or even, you just have time and walking, you can listen to podcasts.
Yes.
And I think it's good. So
even at 1.5 speed,
you can do that. Yeah.
For me, it would be okay.
Sometimes it's fine. Sometimes it's I think we talk normal speed.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
If the talking speed is okay or could be even improved even more.
Exactly.
The setup is improving. We are improving.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a long-term project. We're gonna be here for years. We don't think in episodes. We think in years.
Yes.
And you're gonna hear from us and see us
in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
Leave us comments. Leave us also advice for the setup. Feedback.
Yes.
Also give us hearts, of course, in all the platforms: YouTube, Instagram,
LinkedIn,
let's say LinkedIn, Spotify, as well.
Yeah.
And also suggestions for future episodes. If you are interested in any topics, just let us know. And I think that's a wrap. So see you in 2 weeks.
Tim, thank you for this conversation.
Thank you, Christoph.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.